Good morning, MPC. Welcome sa ating weekly economic briefing. To introduce our guest for this press briefing, we have Assistant Secretary Tony Lambino. Sir, magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga din po at welcome back sa ating economic press briefing co-hosted by the Economic Development Cluster and PCOO. Nakakamiss po ang MPC. Isa sa mga layunin ng 0 to 10-point socio-economic agenda ng Administrasyong Duterte ang mas padaliin ang pagnenegosyo at ang mas magandang mga trabaho sa ating bansa. Kaakibat ng mga layuning ito ang pagsasatupad ng mga programa para sa ikabubuti ng mga negosyante at manggagawa. Ang briefing na ito ay tungkol sa mga game-changing reforms na binibigyang prioridad ng Administrasyong Duterte upang panatilihin at lalo pang pataasin ang ating growth rate na siyang makakatulong sa tinatawag na Road to A rating. Tulad ng napag-usapan natin sa isang nakaraang economic briefing, kamakailan lamang na maigawad sa Pilipinas ang BBB Plus rating mula sa S&P Global Ratings na siyang pinakamataas na credit rating na natanggap ng ating bansa. Ang SSS ay nag-anunsyo na ng kanilang condonation program para po itong amnesty para sa mga employers, para sa mga penalties ng mga delinquent contributions at pati po para sa mga household employers. Alinsunod sa Republic Act 11199 o ang Social Security Act of 2018. Ito'y inaasahang magbibigay ng remedyo para sa mga delinquent employers para mabigay na nila ang nararapat na benepisyo sa kanilang mga empleyado. Tinatayang aabot sa 1.4 million na empleyado sa pribadong sektor ang makikinabang sa programang ito. Samantala, ang pagkakatatag ng Anti-Red Tape Authority o ARTA ay naisabatas ng Republic Act 11032 o ang Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Delivery Act of 2018. Sa pamamagitan ng mga programa ng ARTA, mas mapapadali ang mga transaksyon at serbisyo sa iba't ibang sangay ng pamahalaan para sa mga mamamayan, negosyo at industriya. Isa rin itong hakbang ng administrasyon na paigtingin ang kampanya laban sa korupsyon. Ang mga programa ng SSS at ARTA ay iilan lamang sa mga programang naisabatas ng Administrasyong Duterte na siyang maghahatid ng mas maayos na pagnenegosyo tungo sa mas marami pang oportunidad sa employment at investment. Layunin ng mga programang ito ang mas malakas na ekonomiya na ramdam ng bawat Pilipino. Kasama po natin ngayong umaga sina SSS President and Chief Executive Officer Aurora Cruz Ignacio at ARTA Officer in Charge, Deputy Director General Ernesto V. Perez. Ibabahagi po nila ang ilang update at anunsyo mula sa SSS at ARTA na maghahatid ng better business at better employment sa Pilipinas. President and Chief Executive Officer Ignacio.
Mabuting araw sa inyong lahat, as we say it in SSS. Okay. This is to share with you a report on the implementation of Republic Act 11199 or the Social Security Act of 2018, which took effect on March 5, 2019. Almost 3 months from the law's effectivity, SSS, together with its stakeholders and the Social Security Commission, has promulgated implementing rules and regulations of the SSS Act on May 22 and which was published in a national broadsheet on June 2, 2019. Today, there are 2 hallmark provisions of the SSS Act that are being implemented, one of which is the condonation of penalties on delinquent contributions, and this will end by September 1, 2019. Second, legislated contribution rate and new minimum and maximum monthly salary credits, which resulted to increase in benefits. First, let us discuss the condonation. The penalty condonation for delinquent contributions is a transitory provision of the law that seeks to help employers, including household employers, to comply with the SSS Act of 2018. Since the contribution penalty condonation program started last March 5, 2019, from 16,460 employers with about 155,112 employees, SSS has collected 378.71 million in unpaid premiums and waived more than 1 billion in penalties. This does not include the household employers. Based on established collectibles, there are still more than 115,000 delinquent employers who should avail of this penalty condonation program for unpaid SSS premiums. If all the delinquent employers in our established collectibles settle their unpaid premiums, more than 1.4 million employees stand to benefit the benefits of SSS because these workers can finally maximize their benefits and privileges as SSS members. Qualified employers under the contribution penalty condonation program are those who have not yet registered with SSS, including household employers, those with pending or approved proposals under the existing installment payment scheme program, those against whom judgment has been rendered either by the Social Security Commission, courts, or Office of the Prosecutor, but who have not complied with the judgment, and those with pending or approved applications under the program for acceptance of properties offered under Dasyon and Pago. And finally, those who settled all contributions before the effectivity of the SSS Act of 2018, but with unpaid or partially paid penalties for late or non-remittance, as well as those against whom a warrant of distraint, levy, garnishment, or that we call that the WDLG, or encumbrance has been issued. Interested employers should submit their letters of intent to the nearest SSS branch. Applicants who want to remit their contribution delinquency in full should wait for the branch approval, while the employers who choose to settle their contribution delinquency through installment should submit a proposal and collection list to the SSS branch. Upon submission of the proposal, the employer should remit a down payment equivalent to at least 5% of its total contribution delinquency. He or she will also be required to submit a promissory note committing to pay the balance of the delinquency in equal monthly installments within a period of 48 months, wherein the first monthly installment shall fall due within 30 days after the approval date of the proposal. We strongly urge all delinquent employers to settle now the unpaid premiums of their employees. This contribution condonation will run only until September 1, 2019. Mas maraming humahabol nga pagka malapit nang matapos ang condonation program. Okay. After this contribution penalty condonation program, employers who continue to violate the SSS law must pay penalties or face imprisonment if they continue to ignore their mandatory obligations to provide Social Security protection to all their employees. It is a criminal liability, no? Second, let me share with you the results of the legislated contribution rate and the new minimum and maximum monthly salary credit, which resulted to increase in benefits. Under the new law, SSS will provide 7 types of benefits. These are sickness, the expanded maternity benefit, disability, retirement, funeral, death, or survivor pension, and unemployment benefit. The increase in maximum monthly salary credit from 16,000 to 20,000 also increased the amount of benefits because the monthly salary credit is a primary factor in the computation of the benefit. To illustrate the increase in benefits, sickness benefit will be 600 per day from the previous 480 per day. Also, the monthly average pension will be 8,000 compared to 6,400. The legislated contribution adjustments has also lengthened the life of the pension fund by 6 additional years from 2032 to 2038. On its first year of implementation alone, the pension fund life will continue to strengthen the legislated contribution adjustment until 2025. Our actively paying members today are assured that their pension fund will take care of them during their retirement. SSS Act of 2018 has other salient features such as the unemployment benefit or involuntary separation of benefits, mandatory coverage of OFW workers, provident fund benefits, and enhanced investment capabilities, statutory investment limits, and cumulative ceilings. To date, we are in the process of creating policies and programs and adjusting our systems to implement these provisions of the new SSS law. We also like to share with you the status of implementation of the Republic Act 11210 or the 105-day expanded maternity leave law, which took effect on March 11, 2019, with the IRR signed on May 1, 2019. We are happy to report that we have assisted about 122,571 female members of SSS during their pregnancy from January to April 2019. Those who gave birth starting March 11, 2019, when the 105-day expanded maternity leave law took effect, have benefited from the longer period of recuperation after giving birth and a longer time to take care of their newborns. The maximum maternity financial assistance of SSS will increase to 70,000 by January 2020, with the new maximum monthly salary credit of 20,000, which was implemented last April. This is more than double the previous maternity benefit of 32,000. SSS has disbursed 2.67 billion in maternity benefits from January to April 2019. This is 15.09% higher than 2.32 billion disbursed in the same period last year. Further, we would like to clarify some concerns on the implementation of the expanded maternity leave law. Employers who have paid in advance the corresponding adjustment in maternity benefit to their qualified female employees in accordance with RA 11210, they have to submit to SSS a proof of advance payment with their letter request for adjustment and a photocopy of solo parent ID if applicable. For self-employed, voluntary members, OFW workers, members separated from employment, payment of differential shall be made through banks or through checks, as the case may be. Based on the initial settlement of the maternity claim, SSS started paying the differential due self-employed and voluntary members on June 13. In closing, I wish to reiterate that SSS is motivated to continuously develop its benefit programs to provide more meaningful assistance to the members. I hope this information will be useful in today's discussion. Mabuting araw po muli sa inyong lahat.
Salamat, SSS President and Chief Executive Officer Ignacio. Ngayon naman po, makikinig po tayo kay ARTA Officer in Charge, Deputy Director General Ernesto V. Perez.
Maraming salamat. Magandang umaga po sa ating mga kababayan. Last year, President Duterte signed Republic Act 11032 or the Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Services Delivery Act of 2018, which created the Anti-Red Tape Authority. Ang ARTA po ang nagpapatupad ng batas na ito, which has the power to monitor the compliance of government agencies and to enforce penalties against violators that cause undue regulatory burden to the transacting public. Ang batas na ito po ay sagot na palaging sinasabi ng ating mahal na presidente na ayaw natin na pinapahirapan ng ating taong bayan. Ayaw natin na mahaba ang pila, ayaw natin na pinapabalik-balik ang taong bayan para lang mag-avail ng government services. Hindi na po dapat ginagawa yon sang-ayon sa batas na ito. Because one of the salient features of the law is that this prescribes a standard processing period of either 3, 7, or 20 working days para i-process yung transaction. Hindi na rin po dapat bumabalik-balik ang tao para i-follow up. Dahil sa batas na ito, Pag hindi na-approve or na-process ang inyong application within that standard processing time, ang sinasabi ng batas ay there is automatic approval. So dapat walang pila, hindi na kailangan mag-follow up dahil meron nga automatic approval. But even prior to the implementation of Republic Act 11032, significant gains have already been made by the Duterte administration in terms of improving the ease of doing business in the country. The Philippines improved its ranking in the World Competitiveness Yearbook 2019, published by the International Institute for Management Development. From last year's 50th spot, the Philippines jumped to 46 in terms of competitiveness, measured by using 4 factors, namely economic performance, government efficiency, business efficiency, and infrastructure. The Philippines has also gained its best score in 5 years in the 2018 Corruption Perception Index, or CPI. In the CPI report, released by the anti-corruption watchdog Transparency International, the Philippines scored 36 points in 2018 from 34 in 2017, climbing 12 notches from 111th to 99th place out of 180 countries. The study had a scale of 0 to 100, 0 being 100, 100 being 0 being highly corrupt, and 100 being very clean. Napatunayan na po ito sa experience ng ating mga neighboring countries like Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Sila po ay nagkakaroon ng isang strong and dedicated government that is serious in implementing reforms. Kaya po sa kanila, mataas po ang kanilang ranking in terms of doing business in the country. As you know, in the 2019 survey, nasa 124 po tayo out of 190 economies in terms of World Bank survey in terms of doing business. Ang Malaysia po number 15, ang Singapore po number 2, ang Vietnam po nauna na sa atin, even Thailand and Indonesia. Ngayon, pag tayo in-improve po natin ang ranking sa pagpapatupad ng reforma na ito, magkakaroon po ng greater productivity at especially now that we are in a highly competitive society. Tabi po nagkikipaglaban sa mga sila po, they're trying their best to improve its system of government. Tayo po dapat ay maging serious din sa reforma na ito. The full implementation of the ease of doing business will attract more economic activities, foster an enabling business environment, generate more jobs, and ensure an inclusive growth for our country. We look forward to shaping the Philippines as a competitive landscape where businesses, foreign and local alike, from small and medium enterprises to large businesses, can thrive with the help of a government they could trust. Just recently, last May 28, 2019, the authority celebrated its first anniversary, which gathered more than 400 participants. Masyado pong mataas ang expectations nating taong bayan. Yung mga businessmen, lalo na yung mga pinapahirapan, sila po ay dumudulog sa anti-red tape authority para tulungan sila dahil sa batas na ito. At pag in-implement po ito, talagang husay ang takbo ng ating serbisyo publiko, hindi na dapat pinapahirapan ang taong bayan. Among the accomplishments of the authority is its 52.63% complaint resolution rate. Though we are obviously new, we are not delighted with the increase in the number of complaints. We take this as an indication that people are starting to recognize the functions of ARTA. And we are willing to take an active part in combating the red tape problem to the mere act of reporting inefficiencies. As of June 25, 2019, the ARTA Complaint Center received and responded to 161 complaints. For the first 4 months of the year, we have received an average increase of 72.56%. Or from last month, we received a jump of 123%. Ito po dahil sa tulong ng media. Dapat po ipaalam natin sa ating taong bayan ang kagandahan ng batas na ito. Na sila po ay makakaasa, na sila po ay tuwing dumulog sa Anti-Red Tape Authority, within 24 hours to 3 days, aksyonan po natin ang inyong reklamo. At makakasiguro po kayo na ang government agency will respond dahil napakahigpit po ng batas na ito in terms of violation at napaka-stiff ng penalties na ito. Among the accomplishments of ARTA include our organizational structure has already been approved by the Department of Budget and Management. We conduct regulatory impact assessment. Sa batas na ito po, any agency is required that any proposed regulation will be subjected to regulatory impact assessment para i-determine na ito po ay hindi nagpapahirap sa taong bayan, it will not cause undue regulatory burden and unnecessary cost. We have also this project repeal, na kung saan lahat ng batas, lahat ng regulasyon na sa tingin natin ay nagpapahaba ng proseso, we encourage government agency to recommend to us and recommend to Congress the repeal and amendment of these laws so that ang ultimate objective is really para pakandahin ang serbisyo publiko, to streamline the procedure at hindi na mahirapan ang ating taong bayan. Despite of all this, we recognize that there is a lot to be done. The Philippines still needs to catch up and to be at par with the performance of our neighbors in the Asia Pacific. But we are taking the right steps towards that direction within the next 3 years and before the term of President Duterte ends. We hope to fully implement the law and improve our ranking from a dismal 124 out of the 190 economies to top 20%. Kasi pag hindi po tayo kumilos at tayo po sa ARTA ay kumikilos talaga ng mabilis, improve po natin ang kind of services that our people expect. Pagandahin po natin ang sistema, we streamline procedure, we attract more domestic and foreign investors. This will result in more business and job opportunities for our people, more income for the people, therefore a happier community. Maraming salamat po.
MPC, Ma'am Ignacio has to leave at 12, so i-address muna natin yung question tungkol sa SSS. Anyway, may papalit naman kay Ma'am Ignacio mamaya. RJ, please.
All right, ma'am. Good morning, Ma'am Ignacio. Ma'am, in March, we announced that around 132,000 delinquent employers were to be targeted, right? And you mentioned a while ago that after 3 months, we had how many? We have yet to target 115 delinquent employers who have yet to avail of this condonation program. And that means we only had 17,000 delinquent employers who have availed of the condonation program. Ma'am, is this still achievable since we only have 3 months left?
The 132,000 is the established delinquent employers. We don't expect to collect all 100%, but since we're already about 3 months into the condonation program and we were able to achieve around that number, 16,000, we feel we will do a good job by not by achieving more than 50%. We would like to target 100%, but since it's beyond our control, we will do a lot of our marketing efforts to inform everybody that the condonation program is available until September 1. You know the Filipino mentality, they come when it's about deadline, so we expect more to come in the month of August.
So realistically, just the 50% or more than
Yes,
50.
yes.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
MPC, question. Jinky.
Ma'am, eto lang po. I'm just curious. In the event po that, let's say, they will not meet that September 1 deadline, will you be offering some grace period or extension?
No, we cannot give the extension or a grace period because this program has been part of the law that was approved.
Balik tayo kay RJ. RJ.
Ma'am, we still have 2 billion from the 9 billion investment portfolio. 7 billion has been deployed. And when do we plan to open this 2 billion for rebidding?
We are looking at other investment channels at the same time looking at the funds. So we are scheduling some who would volunteer to bid for the next funds. And there are a lot of bidders, so we hope to bid them out before the end of the semester or the maybe next month.
Next month.
Yes.
Thank you.
Salamat, RJ. MPC, questions sa SSS? Okay na tayo sa SSS?
You can ask the people that we believe.
Oo. Sakali naman na alis si...
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Alis yata si... Alis ba?
Yes.
Oo. Maraming salamat po.
Can I just say
Yes, ma'am.
a few words?
Please.
We need your help to tell the people of what SSS has to offer, not only the increase in contribution, but of course the increased benefits as effect of the increase in contribution. And please help us tell the people that the condonation will end in September 1 so that they can avail of the condonation. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Aurora. Papalitan naman siya ni Attorney Tony Agravioso. Kung may tanong pa sa SSS, pwedeng i-address kay Attorney Agravioso. Okay. MPC sa ARTA. Any questions sa ARTA? Okay. Nestor, then Bernadette.
Good morning, sir. I'm Nestor from Inquirer.net. President Duterte last week announced a plan to issue an executive order on red tape. Why is there a need for the President to issue an EO on red tape, considering we already have the RA 11032 and the issuance last year of Memorandum Circular Number 44 requiring government entities to respond to all public requests and concerns within 15 days?
Hindi ko po alam, hindi ko po pwedeng sumagot para sa ating presidente, and we cannot question the wisdom of the president. Ang ating pong presidente ay privy to informations with several advisors. Kung ano man po yun, ay there will be no conflict naman with proposed implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act 11032 dahil ang Republic Act 11032 ay is by law. Executive order naman is at the discretion of the President. So it will not affect whatever pending implementing law or implementing rules of regulations of Republic Act 11032 po.
Is this an indication that the President is not satisfied with the implementation of RA 11032?
We do not know. You can ask the President about it. We cannot answer for the President po. We are not privy to that information.
But on your part, sir, how would you assess your implementation of 11032?
Even without the implementing rules and regulations, we are already implementing the law because the law says it is effective June 17, 2018. So we're not relying on the implementing rules and regulations. We are continuing with our two-pronged approach to the implementation of the law. Number one, we continue to enable and train government agencies in terms of regulatory impact assessment. Ini-enable po natin sila na mag-comply dun sa batas of updating their citizens charter kung saan po tayo, since we started office, we have been receiving already reports from various government agencies in terms of an updated citizen charter. Ngayon po tayo din ay nagre-receive ng mga reklamo sa ating publiko at mula po nung nagkaroon tayo ng wider media coverage, tumataas na rin po ang number ng complaints na nare-receive ng ARTA. At we are glad to inform the public na ang ating pong resolution rate sa ARTA ay mataas, more than 52%. At in less than 2 months, nagkakaroon po natin tayo ng resolution. Dahil tuloy pong magpapatala tayo ng sulat sa mga government agency. At nire-remind natin sila tungkol sa kanilang tungkulin sa batas na ito na pag ang nagkaroon ng delay at ang pending application ay hindi na process within standard processing time of 3-7-20 working days, sa ngayon po sa batas, yung responsible government employee will be prosecuted for violation at napakataas po ng penalty. First offense pa lang, 6 months suspension. Second offense, dismissal from service, forfeiture of benefits, perpetual disqualification, meron pang kulong na 1 to 6 years, meron pang fine of 500,000 to 2 million. So wala pong government employee that will ever take the risk of being prosecuted. Dahil ang batas po napakalinaw eh. Yung depensa medyo mahina at yung kanyang leverage or discretion ay napakaliit. So pag pina-explain natin siya at hindi na-explain, ay magiging subject na siya for a penalty for violation of the law.
One more follow-up, Nestor. Then Badet, tapos Arta pa rin tayo. Arta muna. Okay.
Sir, you mentioned wala pang IRR yung ARTA. Bakit po, sir?
Nag-submit na po tayo ng final or revised draft of the implementing rules and regulation. Pero sa ngayon po sa batas, only the regularly appointed Director General together with the DTI Secretary and the Civil Service Chairperson can promulgate the law. Ang ating pong presidente hindi pa nag-appoint ng regular Director General. Ako po ay na-appoint na OIC, Office of the Director General. Nag-assume po ako ng office ng December 18, pero wala po akong authority na mag-promulgate ng IRR.
Salamat, Nestor. Badet, pagkatapos si Badet, Alexis.
Mr. Perez, I understand you have already asked Malacanang to grant you the authority to sign and issue the IRR of EODB law. May we know if the palace has already responded to this request?
Sa ngayon po sa ating pagtatanong, ito po ay sinasubject pa ng further study. Nag-ano po sila ng staff work. So we leave it up to the President because as we say, as public servants, we serve at the pleasure of the President and we leave it to the discretion of the President whether or not to approve our recommendation.
Sir, bakit a year after the EODB law has been signed, hindi pa rin nakapag-appoint si President? Ano daw po yung binibigay sa inyong reason bakit natatagalan po siya mag-appoint, sir?
Wala po naman binibigay na reason ang ating Presidente or Office of the President. So the reason bakit hindi pa na-approve yung ating implementing rules or hindi pa na-appoint yung ating Director General.
Pero sir, did you get any commitment from the palace that the President will appoint the ARTA chief soon?
Wala po akong narinig o natanggap na commitment.
Pero sir, sino po nagsabi na understudy po yung request niyo po? Na
Sa staff po doon. Sa staff. Kasi pag tayo po nagbibigay ng memorandum or sa ating Office of the President, siyempre ito po is subject to complete staff work. Magkakaroon po ng vetting, pinag-aaralan po ito bago nila iakyat sa ating Presidente for any recommendation.
Okay sir, thank you po.
Salamat, Badet. Alexis, Mike, please.
Good afternoon or good morning po. Meron na kasing EO limiting to 15 days yung response nung government offices sa requests, di po ba? And then we also have the red tape law. Ano pa kaya yung pinagkaiba nun mga yun dun sa upcoming na EO na pipirma ni Presidente?
Yung EO na yun ay before the effectivity of Republic Act 11032 or the Ease of Doing Business, which amended the Anti-Bribe Tape Act of 2007. Yung binabanggit mo na yun po yung Salonga law na nagpiprescribe ng 15 days for government agents to respond to any queries or requests. Dito po sa ating batas, sinorten po ng period. Instead of 15 days, 3 days lang for a simple request pag ito po ay ministerial on the part of the agency to act on the request. Pag ito po ay medyo complex at nagkakaroon ng evaluation, longer period po of 7 days. But pag highly technical, it requires a longer period of 20 working days, subject only to one extension. Pag ito po, the law also covers not only business, but also non-business related transaction. Lahat po ng government agencies, including local government units, government-owned and controlled corporation, pag meron pong pending application na request sa kanila, dapat po ito aksyonan nila within that period, 3-7-20 work. Kung hindi, magiging liable po sila sa batas na ito.
Ano po kaya yung salient features nung pipirmahang EO? Yung parating po na EO na sinabi ni Presidente?
Hindi ko po alam yung tungkol sa EO na yan o tungkol sa EO which is maybe different from the pending implementing rules and regulations.
Pero
Honestly
if
po,
you
hindi ko
were
po-
to recommend to the President yung magiging content o yung mga aspects na i-cover nung EO na pipirma niya, ano pa kaya yung mga yun na kailangan pang idagdag dun sa EO na parating?
If I will have that privilege, but I'm not assuming, no? Bilang Deputy Director General, OIC Director General ng Anti-Red Tape Authority, nandyan na po ang final draft of the implementing rules and regulations. Nandyan na rin po ang period that will only require agencies to act on a standard processing time. So para sa amin po sa ARTA, ginagawa namin ang aming trabaho na ipatupad ang batas. So we act on the complaint at within that standard processing period, we ensure our public that that application or request will be duly acted upon.
So, hindi na kailangan nung EO?
Hindi ko po alam. Mahirap po magsabi kung hindi po natin alam ang nasa isip ng ating presidente kung kailangan o hindi yung EO na yan.
Okay,
Honestly
salamat po.
Thanks, Ace. Arta muna tayo bago tayo mag-shift uli sa, sa SSS. Arta, RJ.
Sir, did you say that we don't need an IRR to implement this law, the ease of doing business law?
What we say, we do not have to wait for the
Alright.
IRR. But of course, we need the implementing rules and regulations to expand or to explain whatever is being stated in them. But we believe and we submit that since the law has become effective on June 17, 2018, and we have been receiving already queries or complaints, we cannot shirk from that responsibility and act on the complaints. So even without the IRR, pinaputapad po natin ang
Alright.
batas dahil malinaw naman ang batas.
It's been being implemented since June 2018, correct?
June 17, 2018.
All right. And how many violation complaints have we received so far?
As of June 25, 2019, we have received complaints of 166, 52% of which have already been resolved.
52?
52%
All
have
right,
already.
all right. So what's the nature of the complaints generally, sir?
Ang nature of complaint po ay about 48% refers to queries or clarifications on the kinds of service in terms of SSS benefits, birth certificates. 47.83% about business permits and license to operate. 9.32% or 15 refers to regulations or policies. Tapos meron pong isa requesting for exemption from the 3720 standard processing.
What about complaints from business sectors alone, sir? Did you
Yun po,
set-
77 at or 47.83 referring to business permits and license to operate.
All right. The rest from individuals.
From individuals, 68 or 42.24 referring to queries on SSS benefits and birth certificates.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, RJ. MPC, shift na tayo uli sa SSS. No more questions on Arta. Okay, SSS tayo. Tuesday, please.
Hi sir, para sa SSS. Sir, dito sa condonation program ng SSS, hindi po ba ito mas nagiging dahilan na lumakas ang loob ng mga delinquent employers na hindi mag-remit dahil mayroon kayong inaalok na condonation program?
Sa tingin ko, hindi naman ho. The last condonation program was in year 2010, January. And if we will outweigh the benefits that will be given to the employer, to the employees of those employers na makikinabang sa condonation. Anyway, ang kinokondone po dito, gusto naming idiin ay ang penalty lamang. Hindi po kasama yung principal. Only the penalty. I would like to announce that according to the new law of the SSS, the penalty of 3% per month on Social Security contribution was lowered to 2% per month. Penalty lang po ang aming kinokondon, hindi po yung principal.
Tuesday, follow-up. Okay na. MPC, SSS. No more? No more? Okay. Maraming salamat, DDG Perez and Attorney Tony Agrabioso,
Thank you rin po.
Acting Senior Vice President of SSS. Kay Asik Tony, baka merong gusto magtanong. Maraming salamat, MPC. Balik tayo sa Radyo Pilipinas at PTV.